If you could just, on the chat, if you could just send us a message. At the bottom, we have this chat option. So it'll be great if you could just share your location. We just have to wait for a few more minutes before other members join in. Okay, so as you're sharing your location, I am the host for today's webinar. My name is Pavandeep Kaur. I work at Webdew in the capacity of Operations Manager. And on behalf of Webdew and HubSpot, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you for taking out your time, especially during the lunch break. But we were a little clever to take out this time so that you're there with us. Okay, and as you proceed, just feel free, because we're just waiting for others to join in, feel free to share your thoughts. Even you can unmute it and you can share your thoughts if you feel like. I love this icon, actually. This. Hello, hi, so much of excitement is there. Okay, so I think we should start. So, because I think it's obvious from my voice, I'm pretty excited for this webinar by the sheer fact of its relevance, actually, for today's time. So, but before we start, here are a few housekeeping tips that we request all of you to make note of. At the bottom left, we have a mic setting. So here you are requested to mute your mic as the session goes on, and you can unmute it towards the end while we are having the question answer session. Next to the audio settings, we have video settings. And here, just the opposite, we'll request you to keep it on throughout the session so that we can have a more interactive session. And as we move towards the right side, we have chat option there. Please feel free to share your thoughts, your queries here. And as you type in and send it to us, please select everyone so that everyone is aware of what kind of queries you have. Maybe others can add on to that query or probably give a suggestion or their experience, so that it's having a more interactive session and not just a session. Okay. So as Pankaj asked, we are recording this session, and a recording of this webinar will be shared with all of you. And we are going to, add on something to it. We're going to probably provide some additional resources as well with it. So that's going to be something, something more along with the recording. Okay, so our webinar today, proven inbound strategies that will work during uncertain times. Time for sure triggers this emotion of curiosity. And to curtail it, we have adopted n number of tools, processes, methods, so that we are aware and others are aware of us. Now, in the market, we are always looking for the could-be customers, to the would-be customers, to the actual customers. Uncertain times make this journey quite challenging for anyone, or I can even say everyone. And that's exactly the reason why we are here. We are here to talk about why inbound, the move from funnel to flywheel, takeaways from HubSpot Epic COVID-19 benchmark data, and some very successful, to be specific, 3 inbound tactics that have worked during uncertain times. And we are not just going to talk, we're going to discuss a case study also that Webdew has adopted with the video marketing campaign that it ran. And after all this talk and real cases as well, the floor is going to be open to all of you, wherein you can ask any questions that you wish. And to have this very healthy conversation, we have two phenomenal speakers with us. We have Mr. Danish Wadhwa. He's founder and CEO at Webdew. Webdew, I would like to share with you, is India's proud and only HubSpot Diamond Partner agency. And trust me when I say this, it's soaring its status operationally. We also have a very gorgeous, a very successful lady, Ms. Kiara Gaviragi. She's Senior Channel Consultant at HubSpot. And she's going to be enlightening us with some of her handpicked inbound strategies. So to take this talk further, I request Mr. Danish Wadhwa to share with us his thoughts. Here I'll stop sharing my screen.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Pavandeep, for the tremendous introduction. I'm feeling like a Shah Rukh Khan now. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, I hope everyone can see my screen. I've shared that up. Okay, great. So, guys, my name is Danish Wadhwa. I'm founder and CEO at Webdew. I started this agency in 2016. I'm a marketer by profession, but entrepreneur by chance. So it was never planned like I'll become an entrepreneur. Moving ahead, to kick off the presentation for the day, I would like to start with this very particular statement: buyers today have all the power. And I hope like most of you will agree to me, although I have few stats to prove this statement going forward. So here are the few stats. 94% of the consumers have discontinued communications with company because of irrelevant promotions or messages. The first point. The second one, 51% of customers will never do business with that company again after one negative experience. The third one, 93% of consumers said they are more likely to be repeated customer at companies with remarkable service. So when you talk about these stats always say like the customer is the priority, the service is the priority, and the experience you're creating for a customer is more important than anything else. And what is the better way of doing a business? Yes, the inbound way. Inbound way is the better way of doing a business. Now, many of you thought like, what is inbound? So inbound is basically a philosophy based around helping people, where we are putting customers, at the center or at the front, and creating our inbound strategy for a growth of any sort of a business. Now, connecting this to an inbound marketing, what is inbound marketing? So it is basically, inbound is all about creating, one-to-one relationships. Anything, a user coming on a website or a customers, which actually creates a good impact on the consumer's mindset. And how does this inbound methodology actually applies to a marketing, which is, I'm actually creating a connecting dot between, inbound and inbound marketing, and now methodology of inbound marketing. So before you can initiate any relationship, you actually need to understand to whom you are speaking. So these are called buyer personas, and buyer personas are basically, integral part of any inbound campaign. It could be we always thought about inbound as an inbound marketing. So inbound is basically a strategy and a methodology where you follow to grow your business, and inbound marketing is a piece of it. So when you start on this particular inbound methodology in taking your business growth, you start to gain the consumer's trust by creating a content. So content that aligns to your buyer personas very specifically. Okay, now we have to reconsider a content strategy. Generally, what I have seen, in my experience, people start creating a content. The first thing they do is start researching onto the keywords. They find a relevant keyword and start writing a content. They never actually keep a buyer persona or the target audience in the mindset. So we need to understand the problems your consumers are actually facing. Instead of just writing a content for a Google, it's more important we write the content for people and the consumers who want to consume that content. So I think we should all take time to think about, the promotional strategy over here, where we are not just positioning a brand or a product or a service in front of a customer. It's more about helping customers. And when we are running any of the ad campaigns very specifically, we always try to push our product or a service in that particular ad campaign to generate leads or generate more business. Instead, like if we start creating an ad campaigns to help users when we are creating a content. So content, when it comes to content, it doesn't mean it's like we're writing a blog post. Content could be a video, this webinar. So it's more about, helping humans to actually solve their problems from that particular content. You can always promote your content through an ads rather than just promoting your product or services through an ads and calculate an ROI. And when we actually bring the traffic on a website through an ads or an organic campaign, so the most important thing is to have a good website where users can actually come onto your website and can easily navigate to your product and services what we offer. So again, like empower people to think beyond their immediate roadblocks and grow with your business. It's more about like helping your consumers to solve their problems and then grow with your business together. So this was about like inbound marketing. Now there are a few fundamentals of inbound marketing which we all have to keep in mind. So these are contacts, buyer personas, buyer's journey, content, and goals. So I'll be discussing, all of them one by one. Contact. So contact is the heart of your inbound marketing efforts. So anything you are doing it for the contacts. Now, it's not just a bunch of a database with an emails is called contacts. No, anybody your company want to market to, sell to, an individual who you are creating with whom you are actually trying to create a relationship is a contact. It's not just another human being or just another database of a contact is not a contact. Now, we need to identify which contacts your business can successfully help and ultimately delight them instead of, just keeping a raw database in the CRM and sending them an emails won't solve a problem. We need to identify the right contacts sitting in our database with an exact buyer personas so that you can always go and pitch them with their relevant content. Let's understand this with a very, simple example. Consider a store manager who sells pet foods, and there is a customer, and going forward what we actually do is we try to send an email to all the customers or all the contacts sitting in our database. Consider into an example when you are sending an email to a customer who actually don't own a pet as a dog. She might have a cat or a bird, and you are sending them an email. A store manager is sending an email with a content which actually covers dog foods in that particular mail. So that is totally irrelevant email to that particular user to whom we are sending, a store manager is sending. So we need to always segment our audience and then target them with our promotional efforts. It could be a paid campaign, it could be an emails in this case of an example. So you are segmenting a contacts, those who have a dog as a pet, and then you are sending them a relevant email. Okay, so the strong contact database is of course very important for us to actually grow. Now the second fundamental component of the inbound marketing strategy is a buyer's persona. So this is a semi-fictional presentation of your deals, customers based on a real data, and sometimes you actually speculate a data and create buyer personas depending on like what are their demographics, what are their behaviors, where they hang out, what are the motivations, what are the goals they want to achieve, and all that stuff. So you need to be very focused when we are actually creating an inbound marketing strategy for a buyer personas. Now, the third component is the buyer's journey. It's an active research process someone go through leading up to a purchase. And this buyer's journey has three different stages: awareness stage, consideration stage, and decision stage. Let me make it more simple for you guys to understand, like what is awareness, consideration, and the decision stage over here. Let's understand with this very simple example. I'm feeling feverish and I have made up my mind like I need to take a medicine. Now I'm actually in my awareness stage, like I'm not feeling well and I'm feeling feverish. This is an awareness stage in my journey. Now, when I consider like, okay, I want to, now it's like time for me to take a medicine, the first thing which will actually come into my mind is take a paracetamol tablet. And then I'm actually into a consideration stage of, taking up a medicine. Now, in generally, I'm not talking about abroad, but generally in India, with a small problem, you actually go to a chemist. And when you go to a chemist and ask for a paracetamol tablet, probably you'll go and ask them like, okay, give me a paracetamol tablet. And they might ask you like, okay, which brand of tablet you want to take. Then I'm into a decision stage, which brand actually creates a more impact in my mind. And then I'll go with that particular brand and take a medicine. Now, that was my last stage of a decision stage. You can always replicate the same example in any business, considering your buyer personas and their buyer's journey. Now, when we actually do an inbound campaign, right, or inbound marketing campaign, we always talk about content, but inbound is nothing but without a context. The context is more about like, who are you creating content for? The buyer personas, which we already discussed. So if you don't know where you want to go, how will you know how to get there? It's very simple. So we need to target the right audience at the right time. The last component is the goals. So goal settings helps us provide alignment between the marketing and the sales team, not very specifically with the marketing and the sales team, but with the different teams within the organization. Set goals that shows how marketing efforts helps your company hit the number and grow faster, which is very important, of course. Now, here is a concept of a funnel and a flywheel. You guys might have heard about a funnel, and I'll give you a differentiation between like how the transition of funnel has been taken place into a flywheel. A flywheel is a mechanical device specifically designed to efficiently store rotational energy. So this is a definition derived from Wikipedia. So that's too technical. So let's jump directly onto what is funnel and how it has been transited into a flywheel. So in a funnel, we always see like marketing is sitting on the top of the funnel, and then we have a sales at the bottom of the funnel. And the end product of that funnel is customers, clients. Now you will see the funnel has no connection from the marketing team to a customer. It's more or less, the sales team is dealing with the customer and bringing out a good customers. Now, when we move into the funnel to a flywheel, you'll see three different components rotating around the customers. It's marketing, sales, and service. Now, in a funnel, we don't see service as anywhere. The service has nothing to do. Once you have a customer, the service teams actually comes into a picture. But in a flywheel model, you can see like there is a marketing, there is a sales, and there is a service, and the customer is actually sitting in the center of the flywheel, where all the departments of the organization are focused only on the customers. Probably Chiara will be actually talking more about this funnel strategy and the flywheel model. Now we have inbound funnel, where we have talked about the flywheel. Now inbound keeps your flywheel spinning. It's more about creating a more force within a flywheel which rotates faster, and there are few frictions which comes with the different department, and every department roles and responsibility becomes of increasing the speed of a flywheel so that we can actually get more customers out of that particular flywheel. There are four different key takeaways from this particular discussion which I've done with you. The first one, the funnel is broken. So I'll not say the funnel is dead. In some cases, funnel still works, but I'll say the funnel is broken. The flywheel is the new way to grow. yes, of course, when you are actually using a flywheel, it's time to grow with that flywheel model. Look for an opportunity to apply more forces and try to reduce the friction between different departments in an organization so that the flywheel can actually move faster. Thank you. And now I'll give this to Kiara, and Kiara will take this forward. Kiara,
Thank you
over
so
to you.
much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much, Danish, and thank you so much, Pavandip, as well. And glad to be here. Thank you for also getting me as a speaker today. So let me actually share my screen. I hope you guys see my screen. Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, again, thank you so much. My name is Chiara, and I'm actually a senior partner consultant at HubSpot Singapore, and also the HubSpot user group leader for India and also Southeast Asia. I joined actually HubSpot Singapore in August 2018, so it's been more or less like 2 years and a few months. But as you can imagine, I'm not Singaporean, but I'm actually originally from Italy. But prior to move to Singapore, I've actually worked in tech in Dublin in Ireland, both for IBM and TripAdvisor before actually moving to HubSpot. So going for the topic of today, I think that Danish really presented very well the inbound methodology and moving from the funnel to the flywheel, which is important to understand in order to also see how we can make those new concepts during these uncertain times, right? How we can actually implement what Danish has mentioned before in a time like this, where a lot of businesses are struggling and a lot of businesses don't know how they can continue selling. But before going into the inbound tactics that I have for you, I would like to also show you some data on actually how buyers are behaving during these uncertain times. So I guess that a lot of you feels like him now, right? So you're probably thinking like everybody's been impacted by COVID-19 and nobody has money, like nobody wants to buy my product. What should I do, right? So what we are going to see today is some data that are actually gathered from our HubSpot clients. So all the data that I'm going to show you today are coming from around 70,000 HubSpot clients, but we will be specifically looking at APAC numbers because most of you are probably in Southeast Asia and India. And these data are looking at trends between March 2020 to mid-November and are based on those customers that are actually decided to invest with HubSpot, so to have actually an online presence. And I know that COVID-19 has started in different timings depending on where you are based. But for this research, what we have looked at is actually the official start date from the World Health Organization, which is the 11th of March 2020. So before we going into that, maybe Meghna, if you can help me, we have a poll here. So please look at our poll and try to interact with us. So how many of you have actually spent more time online compared to pre-COVID? So we have a couple of options, yes, definitely, or no. I haven't seen any difference compared to pre-COVID. I will give you a few more seconds. I see like a lot of answers coming in. All right, so let's share the results. So let me end the poll and see what are the results here. So we have an 81% of people that are actually saying that they're spending more time online and 19% that didn't see any difference compared to pre-COVID. And as you can imagine, as most of you have noticed, the first trend, number one, is that actually website traffic is at an all-time high. So if you can see from March onwards until mid-November, the number of people who are spending more time are actually more and more. Why this is happening? Because buyers are online more than ever. Everybody's working from home, so they are trying to look for information online. And also because those businesses and those like maybe brick and mortar retails or restaurants that have always been doing maybe business face to face, they now had to move to having an online presence. So what this means is that if you are not online now, your priority number one for 2021, or even like for tomorrow onwards, is make sure that you invest in having a website or having at least an online presence on social media. The second trend that we are looking at is marketing emails. So our customers have sent way more marketing emails than ever before. And as you can see, surprisingly, actually, the response rate and the engagement for marketing emails is also pretty high. So this shows that actually people are willing to learn from industry experts. And it seems that they're also like more patient and more willing to receive this kind of emails. So this shows that actually marketing emails is still a channel that you should invest in also like during these uncertain times. On the other side though, and this is pretty interesting, if we're looking at sales, even if it's true that the number of sales emails that our sales rep are sending nowadays is increasing because of course like they can't sell anymore face to face, they cannot meet clients anymore. So they are trying, of course, to sell with using like online tools. On the other side, as you can see, there is a red line. The engagement around sales emails is really, really low. So what this means is that some businesses and some people are probably not ready yet to buy your products or to make a purchasing decision yet. So that's why it's really important to be mindful of your messaging and also always provide value before extracting value from your customers. The fourth and last trend is about deals. And I really wanted to put this here because I also want to give you a little bit of hope. I know these are very difficult times, but as you can see, if it's true that during March, April, and May, our customers have created less and less deals. So when I talk about deals in HubSpot, I refer to sales opportunities. So products and services that our customers are selling. It's also true that moving forward, so from June onwards, we are actually seeing a recovery. So the key takeaways here, it's probably your sales cycles are going to be longer, but still there is hope, right? The economy is starting to recovering. There is also the vaccine coming, hopefully. So definitely like don't lose hope and keep trying and keep selling. So now that we have seen this data, how you should actually take into consideration this buyer's behavior and how the consumer behavior has changed to adapt your messaging and to adapt your marketing and sales to the new normal. So what we need to think about is because of all these changes and because more people are spending time online, we need to rethink about our marketing and sales strategy and think if it's still aligned to those uncertain times. So how we can do that? And here it comes my inbound tactic number one. Try to use educational content to drive traffic, generate more leads, and also delight customers. So Danish has briefly talked about like generating content before, and content is always very, very important because your customers are not going to be willing to give you any information if they're not receiving value from you first. So I have another poll for you. How many of you are actually creating educational content to generate more leads? Are you guys like blogging? Are you guys creating landing pages? Are you promoting your services or products on social media? So let's see what you guys are saying here. I'll give you a few seconds more. So far it's good because I see very few people saying that they're not creating content at all. And most of you are actually saying that they are creating content. All right, so let's end the poll and share the results with you. So a 65% says, yes, we are creating content. I'm really, really happy to see this. And a 17%, it's either not creating content at all, or they're not creating it yet, but they are actually thinking about creating it in the future, which is good. So if you are in that position, definitely it's a good sign that at least you're starting thinking about it. So why creating educational content is important? These are actually some data that we are gathering from from the past 30 days at HubSpot, where we have seen that we have a 25% more people that are engaging with our marketing emails and a 40% more people that are actually coming to our website to look for information. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with HubSpot, but we also have an HubSpot Academy where we have a lot of courses, lessons, certifications. And it has never been so high, the number of people that are actually taking certification, which shows that people are actually looking for educational content right now. So why actually is it important? Because otherwise it's gonna, not otherwise, sorry, because it actually impacts your organization bottom line. So when it comes to marketing, creating content will help to generate more awareness, so to bring more traffic to your website. It will help you with lead acquisition. And then when it comes to sales, it will also help you to close more deals. And when you actually finally converted those customers, you will be able to provide content and delight your customers for longer retention. So how we can actually split this into the three phases of the flywheel that Danish talked about before. So if you're looking at the attract phase, educational content will help you to build trust with your prospects and also with your leads. When we're talking about engage, it will help you provide value before extracting value from your customers. And in the delight phase, it will actually help you to build more successful relationship with your customers, or eventually are going to be your best promoter in the future. So let's look at each single stage of the flywheel and see how content can help you. So if we're looking, for example, at the attract phase, typically this phase is responsibility of marketing. So what marketing can do to provide educational contents to your prospect? So build blog post. Try to promote your landing pages, your blog posts on social media. And one thing that a lot of customers are always telling me is like, but Chiara, we don't have the resources, we don't have the time to create blog posts. How we can do that? So you don't need to like start creating content from scratch. But if you have some content already on your website, try maybe to just change the tone to make it more aligned with COVID times, right? Try to be more mindful, try to be more helpful, and try to be more empathetic. And this will help you, as I said before, generating more awareness. So having more people coming to your website and also getting more leads to convert because they are looking for ebooks, for comparison guides, for checklists that you are actually offering them for free. An example of what HubSpot has been doing in these uncertain times is actually creating this Adapt 2020 series, which will help our customers to be more resilient during these uncertain times. So what we have been doing is creating benchmark data, creating a lot of webinars for our customers. And people have been really, really engaged with this content because, again, it's free, right? And it provides a lot of value. Here I have also an example for a couple of HubSpot clients. So probably if you are based in India, you would know about these two companies. One is Ramco, which is a software and service provider, who has put together a lot of like blog posts during COVID to help their clients. For example, you see this blog post here, work from anywhere is here to stay. And ChargeBee, which is a subscription billing software company, has also run some webinars on how to help their customer reporting during uncertain times. If we're looking at the sales, at the engage side of the flywheel, which is normally responsibility of sales, some of the things that you can do is, for example, run webinars for your prospects. Try to maybe like put some videos on your website, on YouTube, on your social media channels to position your products, to say how your products can actually help your prospect and your customers. And most importantly, try to leverage as well customer stories. Because of course, if we say, oh, our company has the best product and our company has the best services, your customer are probably going to be a little bit more skeptical. But if this is actually coming from you guys, definitely, if it's actually this is coming from your customers, they're more willing to take that opinion into consideration. So here an example from our friends at Webdew that have done an amazing job in terms of customer testimonials, so both written testimonials and also videos. And another example on how they are providing value is to having this webinar today that they're offering for free to all of you that are here to listen us today. And then we move to the final stage of the flywheel, which is the delight stage, which is going to help you to build stronger relationship with your customers. So once you have converted your prospect into customer, what can you do to provide more value? Things that you can do is, for example, create knowledge-based articles or step-by-step guides on how to help them using your products or services, or even videos. People spend more and more time online and they don't really want to look at like text with pages with a lot of text and a lot of words. So try to like create maybe short videos of 1 or 2 minutes that will help you generate more customer retention. And also, as said before, your customers are going to be your best promoters, and they're going to promote your business to their family, to their friends, so they will also get more referrals to you. Here's an example of what HubSpot has been doing this year, for example, for our HubSpot customers. So we do have what we call HubSpot user groups, and are based in 150 different cities. And we have our partners once a quarter to actually deliver webinars for our customers for free, right? So this is a great way to get our customers together, exchange opinions, and also learn new things together. So if in an ideal world, you should focus on every stage of your flywheel, realistically, probably you won't be able to do everything at the same time. So my recommendation would be try to start with one of your department, try if it's marketing, if it's sales, if it's services, and try to focus on that first. If you want to also use a resource from HubSpot that will help you to do that, just go to Google and look for HubSpot Growth Grader. This is a great tool where you can actually answer to some question. There is a questionnaire, and HubSpot will able to give you some recommendation on how you can improve each stage of your flywheel to help you grow better. So just to wrap up our inbound tactic number 1 in terms of creating educational content. So understand what has changed in your consumers' behavior. Second, understand where you should put your focus. Is it marketing? Is it sales? Or is it your services? Identify what type of content you want to create. Is it blog posts? Is it social media? Is it videos? Develop that content, and then, of course, think about what is the right channel to distribute that content. So if you're in B2C, Facebook is great. Instagram is great. If you're in B2B, probably LinkedIn is the best place where you should be. So, and we now are on our inbound tactic number 2. So now that we have developed great content, we need to make sure that we deliver it at the right time and to the right audience. So what I'm seeing, talking to a lot of customers on the phone every day, is that a lot of businesses are still using what we call a spray and paint approach. So they have a customer database and they just send emails, the same type of email to everyone, without thinking who they are sending the email to, right? So what is happening here is basically that you can actually thinking about like the same you're doing with plants. So if you have a plant and you're just trying to like pour water only once, you're going to end up killing that plant. So the same you need to do with your database. You need to make sure that you nurture your database, you're engaged with your database, and to make it grow, and to make sure that you actually send the right content at the right time using things like, for example, marketing automation. So let's look at marketing automation 101 tactics. So the first one is segment your leads. Don't try to use a cookie cutter approach, as Danish was saying before, but look at things like your buyer's journey, how your clients are actually buying, where are they looking for information, where are they spending their time online. Look at your buyer's persona, look at the job title, look at the products that they've bought in the past, look at the industry they're in, look at the content that maybe they have downloaded in the past from you, and see what are their interests. And one thing that is really, really important now because of COVID-19 is actually the industry. So if you are, for example, in B2B, this is something that HubSpot has put together to help our partners and our customers think about how they should change their strategy. So there are 3 different types of categories now of businesses. We have companies that are trying just to survive because they have been badly hit by COVID-19. So examples are travel, events, restaurants, and brick and mortar retail. So to those businesses, you can't talk about grow, you can't talk about scaling because they're just trying to survive. And then we have those businesses that are trying to adapt. So most of companies are actually in this category. So they've been impacted, but they're still trying to go with the times and adapt. So examples are consulting companies, technology software, and anyone with outside channel sales. And then we have those companies that are actually growing. They're thriving because of COVID-19. And actually, COVID-19 for them was an opportunity to grow. So things like, for example, e-commerce, online fitness, or gaming, IT services, these companies are doing pretty well. So try to think how you can change your messaging depending on who is your buyer's persona here. The second tactic is show them the right content. So if we think about the buyer's journey, right? There are some leads that are just subscribers because they want to just look at content from you and receive some newsletter from you. And you also have sales qualified lead that they might be ready to talk to your sales rep. So you can't use a one size fits all approach, but you need to think about what content is relevant to them based on which stage of the buyer's journey they are in. And how can you do that? By using automation. So I don't know if you guys are using any kind of tools that will help you with that, but definitely like using automation to, if you have especially like a big database, lead nurturing using marketing automation will definitely help you to provide the right content at the right time based on your segmentation. Here we have an example. So if you have a content offer on a landing page where you have an ebook about remote work. So if people download that ebook, then we can send them a thank you email that says, hey, here is your ebook. After 5 days, you can say, send another email with a blog post that says 5 things every business should ensure before implementing remote work. And then finally, like 10 days later, we can send a client case study about that specific industry. And if they keep engaging with our content, then why not? Maybe try to also schedule a free consultation with them. So try to see what their engagement is and try to adapt your messaging as well. Also very important, learn how to set up the triggers. So when I talk about triggers is how are you considering a lead? How are you considering a sales qualified lead, right? So when is the right time for your marketing team to send that lead to your sales team? Is it because they have downloaded a specific offer, or is it because they requested a free consultation or a free demo? So try to, like, if you are in marketing, sit with your sales team and try to understand what is a good quality lead for them in order to set up this trigger correctly. And finally, importantly, very importantly, measure your results. If you run your campaigns and you don't measure your results, you don't know where you're going. If you don't set up your goals, Danish talked about goals before, you need to set up your goals, and then every 2-3 months, also make sure that you check how your campaigns are performing so you can always correct them and making it better. So here, as a recap of inbound tactic number 2, segment your leads, show them the right content, set up your triggers, and measure your results. Now, we are finally at the inbound tactic number 3. Try to reinvent your sales and marketing outreach by leading with empathy. So the first one is we are in COVID-19. So people they have a lot of concerns, right? Family, business, a lot of things on their mind. So you need to address real customer concern. So this is an example of an email that I actually received back in April, where a company was telling me that they actually moved their operation online. And my reaction was like, so what? Like, how does that impact me, right? But if we're looking at these great examples from actually a couple of companies in India, this is a great example on how to address your real customer concern. So for example, if you want to order a pizza and you're like, how is it going to be in terms of safety measures? So Domino's Pizza went to Facebook and say, hey guys, like we're still delivering pizza to you, but this is what we are implementing in order to be able to do a safe delivery. So don't worry about it. Same from Patanjali products. They actually saw that there was an increase in inquiries because everybody was trying to like buy products online, and they were like experiencing some delays. So customers might be frustrated. So they went online and say, hey guys, like we understand that you're frustrated because our queues are longer, but please bear with us because we are actually experiencing a high demand during COVID-19. So these two great examples. The second one is do not use anticipatory or exciting language. So example like a urgent update, really big news for you, Chiara. I'm like, nothing is urgent. Nothing that you're trying to sell me, it's urgent when, you know, I haven't been able to see my family for a year, or maybe my business is like trying to survive, right? So do not use COVID-19 as a sales hook. And try to also be empathetic. Try to change your messaging and don't use that, because at the end of the day, it's gonna impact badly and it's gonna damage also your brand. Third one, try to lead with empathy. So here, a great example of Pizza Hut here in Singapore. What happened in April is that McDonald's, who has been always a competitor for Pizza Hut, had to close all their stores because of few cases of COVID-19. And Pizza Hut, instead of like taking advantage of that, they went online and they said, hey, friends at McDonald's, we're actually here with you. Please, hang on in there. The 4th of May, which is when the government reopened everything, is going to come very soon. As you can see here, very good feedback also from their customers and their followers on Facebook. So really good example. So how can you actually lead with empathy? If we're looking at, if you're in sales or if you're in marketing, we think about the LIAR model, which is listen, acknowledge, explore, and respond. So listen, let your customers have the floor and listen to what they're saying to you. Acknowledge, so show your customers that you actually care and you understand what their concerns are. Explore, so try to ask more and more questions. And then finally, try to respond in the right way. And finally, be adaptable. So experiment different ways to actually reach out to your customers and prospects. Here, I have an example on how we are doing it at HubSpot. We are trying to experiment more and more with videos. So instead of like our sales rep, instead of sending those like long emails, they're trying to like record short videos of 1 or 2 minutes on how HubSpot can help your business to move online. And there are plenty of tools out there like Loom or Vidyard that are completely free that you can actually leverage for that. So here it comes my last slide. So how you can actually change your sales and marketing outreach, listen to your customer and acknowledge their concern. Ask yourself, how can I help them? So put yourself in their shoes. If you can't help them directly with a discount, maybe try to offer something else, like an ebook for free or a checklist for free, something that can help them. Review also your marketing campaigns and your scheduled posts, and even like post some campaigns if you think they're not appropriate anymore. And one important thing, yes, it's a difficult time, but do not stop posting, right? Do not stop selling. Just try to like be helpful and supportive. Change your tone and be more mindful to your audience. And if you're selling a product, make sure there is context, right? So here are my 3 inbound tactics. Now I will leave it to Danish once again, where he's going to show you how Webdew has successfully implemented those tactics for Webdew during these uncertain times. Thank you.
Thank you, Chiara. Thank you. It was really helpful for me as well. I got to know like few of the very good things from your presentation. It was quite helpful. Great, guys. So let's jump on to the video marketing campaign. We actually did it for our own website, Webdew. So I'll just take you through the different screenshots which we have taken directly from our website to explain this campaign. So we actually at Webdew focus on 4 different services where we do websites, videos, marketing, and HubSpot. So we are also focused on HubSpot. We are using HubSpot for our in-house purposes for managing all sort of contacts, database, and automations in the marketing and the sales sides, and of course for the service side as well. So we are talking about this very particular service of videos, okay? And what we have done in our videos, we have tried to create a campaign where we promote our video services. So when it comes to videos, we have nailed it down to an explainer videos, because the major chunk of the services we offer is around explainer videos. Now, the first thing any marketer do is search for a keyword, start writing a content and publish it on a blog and then start promoting it. And one thing's like getting a few good quality backlinks can actually rank the blog post higher on a search engine. That's more or less true, but not to an extent, because Google actually wants to rank an authority website for that particular topic. So that's the reason the topic clusters comes in. So when you talk about a very one particular topic on your website again and again, it actually let Google know that you are an authority for this particular topic, and it attacks an authority and ranks you higher on a search engines. So here the topic clusters comes into a picture where we have created a topic cluster inside our HubSpot account, which we can actually do it in an SEO tool of HubSpot. We have found a keyword called explain a video, which is a pillar page over here. And then we have found different other keywords, which is around explainer videos, like explainer video software, explainer video templates, explainer video examples, explainer video production companies, and so on. So we have tried to create a content around different topics, which actually, go back to explainer videos as a pillar page. This way Google actually understand like, okay, we are an authority for this very particular topic of an explainer video, and most of the pages will start get ranked on higher on the search engines. No doubt you have to generate some few quality backlinks for this purposes, but still, like, if you're an authority, it's always helpful to get higher on the search engines. So next, this is a screenshot from a Webdew blog. So when we focus, earlier we used to offer, 15, 20 different services like link building, content writing, SEO. Now we have nailed it down to 4 different services so that we actually focus on them and can help our customers instead of just focusing on the revenue and the profits of the company. It's more or less we can work with the customers to whom we can actually help grow their business, so that in return we can grow our business. So it's a win-win situation for both the sides. Coming back to the screenshot, you will see over here, there are 4 different colors, right? Though 5 different colors. There is a blue color, which resonates to Webdew as a brand. Then there are 4 different categories, which we talk about: websites in a green, videos in a purple, marketing in yellow, and HubSpot in orange. So the purpose of creating, different colors for this very particular service was so that we can actually help consumers know like what we are offering, and they can always segment like what they want to learn from our website. So if the consumer is more interested about HubSpot or videos, they will focus only on the purple color. So that's a human psychology where I've gone through a study, and we have actually implemented it, and we got some good results out of it as well. This is a screenshot from video blogs only, and then obviously you can see everything is in purple. So we have created a lot of content only on explainer videos, though we have created a content on different other topics as well around videos, but our focus were more or less the explainer videos as a service. Then what we have done is, like, inside every blog post, we have actually created a call to action. Now, this call to action could be a button, an image, or anything else, which actually takes the user directly from your website to a landing page where they can fill out a form and can grab a good asset from your resource library. It could be an ebook, it could be a video, it could be anything else. It could be a webinar. In this case, we have created a landing page, and we have promoted a webinar in this case. Now, when someone actually downloads a resource, we send them a relevant email. So it's not about Kiara talked about this, I talked about in my presentation earlier, like we cannot send an email to everyone the same email, right? So we have to segment our audience. So anyone who downloads a resource around an explainer video, we tend to get them, back to our website, sending different blog posts, which that particular user has not read. Although, HubSpot, I thank HubSpot for all this automation facility, what they have given inside their tool, and we are able to achieve that. So in this case, we are trying to keep the user on a website for a longer time and trying to get back, ask that user to come back again on a website and try to create a good hold on that particular user so that we can actually nurture them and then convert them into a customer on the later stages. Now, my presentation was more or less, talking about basic fundamentals, because that was also important part of this presentation. And Kiara covered more about like how you can deal with this uncertain times. I have few stats with you to share with you guys. So this is a screenshot from our HubSpot account from the reportings tool. This is a traffic analytics of Webdew website from first 1st January to 30th of November for 11 last months. And if you can see my arrow over here, you will see in the month of April, starting like after COVID, we have started seeing a spike in the traffic. And when you see this green bar, this is an organic traffic. So this clearly proves the statement, when Kiara said about like how the traffic and the people are more curious to learn and they come on a website. And we have seen an actual results out of it, which is very important, when you are publishing a content or creating a sort of a library on your website to promote your product or services. Then this is a video campaign which we did. So how before actually explaining this particular screenshot, I want you guys to understand about what is campaigns in HubSpot. So consider there is a tool in HubSpot named campaigns. Consider a campaign a bucket where you can add your blog posts, your emails, your landing pages, your web pages, and even your your social media posts. So you club all those assets and put them in a single bucket. And now anyone who is coming on a website and interacting with those assets, could be a blog post or someone clicking on a link from your social media campaign, will get recorded in this particular campaign. And what we have seen after COVID, very specifically, we have got almost this is again a data from last 11 months. We have got almost 60,000 sessions from this very particular campaign. There are different campaigns which we are running for Webdew, but for this very specific product of explainer videos, we have got almost 238 contacts. We have influenced 412 contacts, and we have closed 37 deals just from this particular campaign. Although the revenue is missing, I have intentionally removed it. So the closed deals are 37. Now, when marketing team is actually working on any sort of campaign, now their goal is not to drive traffic. Their end goal is to actually close more deals, because I, being a business owner and the CEO of a company, my focus is more on to the stats where I can see the end results for a people and the team those who are actually putting in efforts. So if you can see like this green and orange color, so orange is for new contacts and blue is for influence contacts. You might have seen like there is a growth in the new and the influence contacts from this very particular campaign. So this actually come to a conclusion like COVID-19 has given a new opportunity in online business growth. As Kiara said, like different industries has got a different impact. In this case, we have seen a growth in the traffic and the people coming on a website, but yes, the sales cycle is behaving differently after COVID. So I think like we have covered most of the things which was supposed to be discussed in the presentation. Now I'll ask Kiara to just quickly recap the complete presentation.
Yeah,
Kiara, over to
absolutely.
you, please.
Yeah, you go one slide more.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes, so you can see like great results from the campaign that Webdew has been creating. And as I say, like content can take a little bit of time to actually generate results, but in the long run, like you've seen like the spike in the organic search that Danish and team had. So definitely like invest in educational content. So the first point is buyers are spending more time online. So definitely try to post as much as you can, and not as much as you can, but what I always say is that quality is more important than quantity. So try to create like more engaging and educational content. The second point is email marketing overload will increase the bar for relevance. So try to use marketing automation to be more relevant with your campaigns. And then finally, there are more emails that salespeople have to send out because they are actually selling online now and not face-to-face anymore. So they need to find ways to actually stand out. So try to be empathetic, try to be very informative, and always try to like put yourself in the shoes of your customers and what they're going through. So I think this is what we wanted to cover for today. I know we are already at the hour, but we're going to stay a little bit more on the call. So if you guys have any questions, please throw them in the chat, and Danish and I are super happy to answer all your questions.
Sure. Guys, over to you. If you guys have any questions.
I think there was a question for you, Danish. Someone asked, Danish, December to January traffic bump is spectacular. Can you throw some light on the activities that you actually did?
So, there are not much activities which we did on like posting more blog posts or like promoting more content. This was the pre-existing, blog post which was sitting in our blogs. We have not done any lot of changes in the the publishing a blog post or something like that. We have actually maintained that particular consistency in publishing the blog post, but this traffic spike was more or less like people were more available online, and they could like come on a website and research about the different topics they wanted to learn about. I hope like this is the genuine answer what I could give.
Yeah. And then we have a question from Anusha. How often do we need to publish content in order to run a successful inbound marketing campaign? I can take this one, Danish, and
sure, please.
If you want, also please feel free to add on here. So what I said before is that it's not really the quantity, but it's the quality. Because if you are posting 30 times in a month, but your content is not good, it doesn't bring you anywhere, right? So try to maybe start like little by little, but make sure that your content is actually has a lot of very informative and very helpful information in there. There are some studies that says that, for example, if you are posting only 0 to 4 times in a month, compared to a company that is like posting more than 10 times in a month, you're actually generating typically 3.5 times less traffic than a company that is generating more blog posts. So definitely, like as I said before, it will definitely take time. So do not expect to get results like in 3 days if you are posting content, because you need to make sure that you continue posting content. You need to make sure that people started recognizing you as a thought leader in whatever you sell, whatever you are saying. And then you will start getting results. But definitely, like the more content you have there, and I think what Danish was showing, it's a proof of that. It will definitely like get you there, and it will get you more and more organic traffic. So in the long run, you will have to spend way less in paid ads and focus more on SEO and organic traffic instead. Not sure if Danish, you want to add anything?
I think you have covered this topic well. I think like we're good to go with the next question, if we have any.
All right, so we have, how easy is to measure the effectiveness of our marketing campaign in HubSpot?
Okay. It's very easy though, because we used to, I very specifically used to spend a lot of time on Google Analytics and different other tools to measure like what is the growth rate of the company, and check onto different tools with Google Analytics and the conversions rate. Within HubSpot, it actually don't only give me the traffic analysis, it gives me like how much contacts we have generated from that campaign. And it doesn't stop at the contacts level. It actually helps me understand how much revenue we have generated from that particular campaign. And being a CEO, and when you talk about numbers, the revenue plays a very important role over there. And I can always talk to my marketing manager asking, okay, what's the revenue goal you are actually achieving from the campaigns? So I believe like it's very easy, and it's been almost a year or two like I haven't visited Google Analytics yet. Most of the time I spend it on HubSpot, because I get a 360-degree picture from a traffic to a customer.
Yeah, very, very well said. And then we have another question about what should it be the average conversion rate for any marketing campaign? I think Sachin, what you said is actually correct. That will really depend upon the vertical and geo. That's correct. So that's a question that I get a lot from my customer. So I think when it comes to like conversion from traffic from traffic to lead, it's actually pretty low. On average, is only 1 to 2%. So when I see this, like people like normally are shocked. It's like, why is that low? But it's actually the reality. But when it comes to like conversion from contact to customer, it really depends on so many things. It depends on the industry you're in. It depends on the sales cycle. How long is your sales cycle? It depends as well on how your sales team is handling leads. It depends on how much effort you're putting into your campaign, where you're promoting your leads. So there is no answer fits all for what is the best conversion from contact to customers. But when it comes to marketing, like traffic to contact around 1 or 2%, but you guys should probably like at least try to get a 5% in there. And then when we are talking about like marketing emails, typically the response, the open rate that we should aim for is around 20 to 30%. So if your numbers are lower than that, then you probably should think about how you should change your messaging, how you should change your subject lines in your emails. And the same goes for the click-through rate. So at least if you have any call to action in your email, if you have like a landing page there, at least you should aim at having like an 8-9% of people that are actually opening your email and then click on your call to action and convert in there. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky. So it really depends on so many things, right? And I think we have another one. What is the best time to publish blog post to generate more traffic? Okay, so this is a good one. So typically, if we're talking about social media, it really depends. So there are some studies that we have done at HubSpot where it shows, for example, that if you are if you're reposting your blog post in LinkedIn, the best is to publish them from Tuesday to Friday and during working hours. Why? Because typically LinkedIn is a place for professional where they normally go during their working hours and they don't really look at that during weekends, typically. And also Mondays is a day where we are coming back to work after a long weekend. So probably we need to read our emails, do our admin, so we don't have much time to spend on LinkedIn. So for LinkedIn, Tuesday to Friday during working hours. So let's say from 10 to 5 p.m. For Facebook is a little bit different. So for Facebook, typically you don't use Facebook or you shouldn't be using Facebook during your working hours. So that's why ideally it's either before you go to work, during lunchtime, or after work. So early morning, late at night, or during weekends as well. Typically, it really works. And the same goes for Instagram, because Instagram very similar to Facebook. But that's when typically we should do it. For Twitter, I'm not sure. I have a lot of customers in APAC, but almost none of them is using Twitter unless they're actually targeting the US. But for Twitter, actually, there is no real good time of the day or of the week. It seems that from Monday to Sunday, it works. But again, it's in APAC, I don't see Twitter being used much by my customers, but maybe you guys like are using it because you're targeting customers outside of APAC. Are there any tools on HubSpot that can be used on Boost social media marketing as well? I see Danish that says yes, maybe like since Danish, you're running a lot of campaigns, you can take this one. Yes. So it doesn't come from me that I'm from HubSpot, but it comes from you.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Kiara. So yes, there is a tool for social media marketing in HubSpot, and you can publish a content within HubSpot through different platforms on Facebook, LinkedIn, even in Instagram and Twitter. And there is a very good, a hidden tool within social media tool of HubSpot where you can actually listen to the tweets with the keywords. So what we actually do, let's suppose if someone is talking about explainer video, we have created a listening, we have added a listening message over there where it actually shows us anyone talking about explainer video, and we try to jump into that particular conversation so that we get engaged with the particular user and see like if we can, position Webdew as an explainer video, brand for an authority of reading or content. That's a very good tool, and the best of all is anything which actually gets into a campaign, I really like it within HubSpot. So it actually gets connected to a campaign tool in HubSpot where I can still measure like how many posts have, like I can even tell like which post have given me the most of the revenue, not only the traffic. And that's the beauty of, having an all-in-one tool in one particular system of HubSpot.
Yeah, and added to that, right? We're able to do that because of a tracking code. So with HubSpot, you have a code that you need to put on your website. So if you're promoting anything on your social media that links to your website and there is a form in there, we're actually able to tell you where your traffic is coming from and where actually that person is converting. So we're able to tell you because we have also like HubSpot is a CRM. So you will be able to see all the contacts that have converted between among all your different channels and see everything that they have been doing on your website inside HubSpot. And of course, like that's for organic search, but sorry, for organic social media post. But if you have some budget and you also are running some ads, we also have the ads tool in HubSpot where you can actually generate your campaigns for Facebook, for LinkedIn, and for Google search. So you can create directly your ads within HubSpot and then track again how many contacts you're generating, how much revenue you're actually generating, and what is the ROI of your campaigns as well.
Great.
Right.
Is there any other question or?
No questions?
No questions.
I think maybe Danish, or I can actually reshare my screen. So we have our LinkedIn page. So if you guys want to connect with us, please feel free to look for our names on LinkedIn and to connect with us as well. And I guess that if there are no more questions, we can leave you with a quote from Albert Einstein, right? Which says, in the middle of every difficulty lies an opportunity. So COVID, yes, it's been a really tough year for everybody, but I think if we do it in the right way, as Webdew showed, you can actually like thrive even in these difficult times. So thank you so much, Webdew team, for having me here. And thank you so much, everybody who attended today, and looking forward to connect with you all.
Thank you so much, Chiara. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your time, for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the lovely session. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for
joining. Have a nice day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.